Hey, welcome back to the DuphilyCrew.
We're here to share some tips that we've learned over the years of visiting Walt Disney World.
And then I think these tips could also apply to
Any park.
Any park in
any theme park.
Yep.
Yep.
So what's the first one?
First one, we talk about strollers. What we use as strollers. Now the rule now is there are smaller strollers that you have to bring. I mean, you can still have a double stroller, but what worked best for us was the umbrella stroller.
Or we also had like what we called a super duper buggy wheel stroller with the basket underneath.
Well, it was
like a four-wheeler.
No, it was an umbrella stroller with a basket.
Well, but Ronnie had like the four-wheeler one, right?
Yeah.
But the idea is if you have a stroller, I think you came up with the idea of having a bandana.
Yeah, like a colorful bandana, tie it to the handle, because you know when you're looking for that stroller in that sea of strollers and they're all the same, that colorful bandana will, you know, say, oh, there it is, and that helped us a lot. We would find it quickly.
Yeah, especially that Winnie the Pooh umbrella stroller.
Yeah, because everyone had the same one at the time, so it was good to separate it from everyone else's. And also another tip about strollers is buy a cheap poncho, like from a dollar store, and then when you go on a ride or something, cover the stroller with it, because if it rains, then it covers it, you know, avoids it getting wet, you know what I mean?
Because you never know when that Florida rain's going to come. It's going to be one minute be nice and sunny out,
right, and then it's pouring.
Yep.
So if you do that, that will cover, all your stuff will be dry and they won't have wet butts.
And your kids would love it if it does stop pouring. They can just be in that stroller and not get wet.
Yep.
But maybe mom and dad's getting wet, but not them.
Yep.
So another tip that we'd like to share is making those Fastpass reservations. So I believe it's if you have a resort reservation, you know, you're staying at Disney property, it's 60 days. If it's not, I think it's 30 days.
30 days, yeah.
So we're DVC members, so we're always staying on property. So we do the 60 days. But what we always do is we have our special rides that we know we want to go to. So we reserve those first. So for us, it's when we pick a day that we're going to Animal Kingdom and we do Flight of Passage, right?
Right.
At Hollywood Studios, I think we always do what?
So I think Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yep. So typically, what we've been doing for Hollywood Studios, it's been Rock and Roller Coaster, Slinky Dog Dash, and whatever random one we can get. Yeah. Animal Kingdom, we've been doing Flight of Passage, Expedition Everest, and I think Safari or Dinosaur, right? Depending upon.
Or the Rapids, but I think the Rapids has been down when we went.
Right. So. Epcot, I think it's either Soaring or the Frozen ride, because you only do one or the other. Spaceship Earth, and then it's just a filler, whether it's Nemo or Figment or whatever, or Mission Space. Usually
for Test Track we do single rider now, because the kids are older, we can do that. But what we do is Dad goes first.
No, you go first.
Oh, I go first.
You go first, and then we have each of the kids go, and then I go last. So that way, they're older, but we still want to kind of keep an eye on them, and we found that works for us.
Yep.
In the Magic Kingdom, I think we typically do
the mountains.
The mountains, and sometimes we switch between Splash and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yep.
So if you're going to do it 60 days out, if you want that Flight of Passage, that's the first one you should book when the 60-day window comes up. And if it's not available on the day you want, just move Animal Kingdom to another day, just so you can get on that ride. And the same thing should work for Slinky Dog as well.
Yeah, and if there's other rides that you want to go on, you have to get there early and just wait in line. Have it be your first ride, you know, so that you get on it, because typically in the morning, they're not as long for line. Yeah. But Mine Train's always long.
Okay. So this other tip will apply because you know how humid it gets in Florida, right? So with our kids, we have to travel down in the summertime because we really don't want them to miss
too many school days.
Too many school days. So we have some tips that we found that help us battle that humidity.
The heat.
Yeah.
The spray pans. You can either buy it at the park, which is about $17 for a Mickey Mouse spray fan, they're fine and everything if you want to spend that money. Or you can go to Walmart before you go and spend $5 or so, maybe.
This dragon fruit's pretty good.
Yeah, I got the s'mores. And this is keeping us cool. The spray fans, I usually we bought the Mickey ones before when we forgot ours, but we do typically bring the Walmart one. And what I do to make it even cooler is I fill up with water, and then I put it night before, and I put it in the fridge so it gets ice cold. And then in the morning, I'll go get from the ice machine in the hotel. I'll fill up the spray fan with ice, so it's extra cold when you spray it, and it's going to melt, but it keeps it a little bit colder, a little bit longer, so it's more refreshing when you spray it on yourself. And we also use cooling cloths too, and what I do with those, I wet those overnight and put them in a Ziploc. I bring Ziploc freezer bags, and I wet them, and then I put them in the fridge as well, so they're nice and cold.
Well, you try to put them in the freezer, right?
Yeah, if we have a freezer.
If there's a freezer, if you can get them rock solid, right?
Yeah, and then they melt.
They melt, but by the time they melt, you're ready to use it, or it's cold. So.
Yeah, and typically, like the freezer bags are also good because they're thicker, so you could put ice in it from the hotel. If you want to bring a small cooler with waters in it, you can use that as your ice instead, because usually the freezer doesn't freeze those reusable ices if they don't refreeze again. So this is just a little tip.
It's still hot, but it just makes it a little, lets you deal with it a little better.
Right.
So for our next tip, it's around if you're eating at a quick service. So if you make dine-in reservations, I don't think this applies to you. I think we found this to work for quick service only. Mm-hmm. Is trying to find those times where you can eat when it's not crowded.
And have a seat.
Inside.
Where it's cool.
Yes. So like I know for lunch, I think they open up at 11 for lunch. So we found 11 to 12 works great. And I think 2 to 4, right? Because the daily parade's at 3:30.
Yeah.
So people are usually waiting, getting their seat or trying to get their spot an hour before that starts. So that's when you can try to get your lunch without minimal people around. And I think for dinner time, I think 4 to 5 or 7 until whatever time they close would work for dinner if you wanted to get away from the crowds. But the new tip, the new thing we've done for the last year was the mobile order.
Yes, mobile order is very convenient. You just put it in on your phone, and then you just go there, and you go. There's a short line, not even a line. You go. It says mobile orders pick up, and you go there, and you can go sit down as well, and get your seat, and then go just pick up your food, and then you're good, and you don't have to wait in this long line.
Yeah, I mean, because usually there's 20, 30, 40 people ahead of you just to order. Well, I'm ordering on the phone as I'm walking to where I want to go, and then whoop, I'm ready to pick it up even before we get there. Yep. So that way, once we hit that place.
Yep, we usually have the kids find a table, and we go pick up the food, and then we're ready to eat.
Yep. I love the mobile order. Yep. So
it's very
try that one out. Try the off hours. I understand if you have little kids, it's harder.
Yeah. We're typically not breakfast eaters, so that's why maybe they'll have a granola bar in the morning or something like that on the go, but we eat lunch early, and then we eat dinner early. So that's how we do it. And then if we get hungry, they'll have snacks in between. But that's basically how we do it.
So our next tips around the first aid center. I mean, I'm not sure if people are familiar what you can get from there or how they can help you, but we do have a little bit of experience with that, right? Yep.
Well, our kids, basically every trip someone has puked one way or the other.
And if you watch the Q&A video we did a couple of weeks ago, you'll understand some puke stories, and believe it or not, we have a lot more of those.
Yeah.
But we've been there. I know we've got aspirin,
Pepto-Bismol.
Somebody's had a little belly problems.
No, that was you. That wasn't me. I don't have belly problems. Also,
you get the ankle braces for me.
He rolled his ankle. He's typically the one that needs the first aid, but I'll go to the first aid and get it. And there's all nurses there, and they take you, they check you in, and you get your information. And they gave him a nice ankle brace that he could wear to walk around the park. There's all sorts of medications, over-the-counter stuff, and and also I think heat stuff. I think they'll give you water and stuff like that. And you can lay down.
We've never waited 10 minutes at most.
No, there's not really a wait. And also, if you have medication that needs to be refrigerated, you can also store it there as well. so that way, you know, it doesn't get, you know, whatever in the heat, you know.
So we figured we share that one because you may not know that. Hey, you roll your ankle at Disney, you know, trying to run to get on that Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah, or the kids fall, skin their knee.
Yep, you can get the bandage, you can get those braces to help you out to get through the rest of the day. So for this next tip, so my wife has anxiety issues if there's a lot of people around.
Like crowds, like, oh, too many people.
Yeah, so this probably would apply for a lot of people that feel that way, because you know how it is when you want to leave the park at night, right? If you're trying to leave after the fireworks, it's just utter madness.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can leave before the fireworks. That's great. We've done that. You leave a half hour before, get on that boat, get on that monorail,
and there's really no line. It's go.
Yep.
And then you can actually watch the fireworks from the ticket center, which is really a pretty good view.
Yeah.
Actually,
but now that our kids are older, we actually
stay later. Yeah.
So we've learned we stay after the fireworks.
Well, everyone's going out. We'll go and either take pictures or maybe get on a ride that, you know, we didn't get on because everyone's leaving. So
yeah, just know when Disney says they close at 10, it's closed for 10 for getting food, for riding the attractions, but they still have the shops open.
Yeah.
And it's up to about an hour.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I take a lot of photographs at night. I do long exposure photographs. I've done it throughout the World Showcase. I've done it at Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
I mean, we've ridden rides. Now, if you stay at Magic Kingdom, if you stayed all the way to the end, you know, about up to an hour after closing, I don't know how many people know, but there's a Kiss Goodnight show that displays on Cinderella's castle. And if you look on my channel, I'll share a link up above here. But I do have what that looks like, and it's really nice as a way to end your day at Magic Kingdom to be able to see that.
I guess they play a little music, do something on the castle, and then kiss goodnight, and then they shut it off, right?
And then you get on that ferry boat, on that monorail, or from the other parks, you take that tram ride, and you really don't have to deal with that mad rush.
Yeah, the mad rush is already gone.
Yeah. Now, I will just tell you, this tip doesn't work during Christmas week.
No.
Especially New Year's.
You'd be waiting for a boat or a monorail for like maybe 3 hours. It's ridiculous. So,
but
might as well just pick up a park bench and take a nap.
But I did get us out of the Hollywood Studios parking lot on New Year's Eve.
Well,
pretty good. I mean, I think I kind of might have rode in the tram lane, maybe.
Well, he might have did a few illegal maneuvers. We called it the Fast and the Furious.
But the Disney police didn't come after me, so that's okay.
No. But other people followed you, so it's like, this guy knows what he's doing, and we were out. So
yeah, I just remember we're from Massachusetts, so we know we're mass holes.
Yeah.
So I think they fit the bill.
Yeah.
All right. So just remember, you know, a little early. I would wait till at least a half hour after fireworks ends if you want to stay away from the crowds. So I think this other tip, I don't know how many people know about this, but it applies to people staying at Walt Disney World resorts.
Yep. It's about if you purchase something and you don't want to lug it around the parks all day, but you don't want to miss the opportunity of buying it, you can send it to your resort hotel. But you have to be not checking out for 2 days. I think it takes 2 days to get to your resort, so you can't do it. But if it's early in your trip, that you can do that, and you pick it up in the gift shop at your hotel, and you don't have to carry it around, or if it's breakable, you don't want to break it, or it's big, you know.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to do that with my lasers. Right, I need that little laser thing, you know, the light up toys, or my bubbles. I like getting the bubbles at nighttime, right?
Bubble makers, yeah.
I wouldn't want those to go back.
No, but stuff that you don't want.
Yeah, so we've used it occasionally. It works out well when we don't want to, you know, keep lugging stuff back.
Sometimes we carry it, you know, if we're leaving, you know, not too far, but in the future, you know, if we're just going home at lunch, we'll just lug it around. Yeah,
Ooh.
There's bees around.
Pollinators. I hope you have my EpiPen.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you bring your EpiPen
Yes.
to Disney.
If you're allergic to bees, I just became allergic for some reason. I got stung last year, and my chest was like started swelling up.
No, not your chest, your face, your neck.
Oh, but I got stung in the chest.
No, you got stuck in the neck. Remember, it was like a baseball size in the neck.
Oh, yeah,
Remember?
that's right.
Yeah, see?
So now they told me now I'm allergic to bees, so now I have
Could
to carry.
be allergic to bees.
So now I have to have
But
an EpiPen.
just in case. Yeah.
She just wants to put that shot
Yeah.
right in me.
Well, if I have to, I'll do it.
Yeah.
To save your life.
All right.
Another tip about beating the heat is when, you tend to go all day long and you're dying in the heat. Well, you take a break, such as like at Epcot. You can go see one of the movies in France or Canada or China. Take a break. I think France is a good nap one, because it's a nice comfy seat, and it's nice and cool in there. And you can relax in there and beat the heat it's like a 17-minute film or something like that.
At Epcot, I used to love. That's why I love Ellen's Universe of Energy.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that was like what, 25 minutes.
No, it was like 40. It was a long time.
Oh, I had my nap in for the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm glad Guardians of the Galaxy's coming there, but that was my instant nap.
Yeah.
But even at Magic Kingdom, right? That's when we reserved to see Tiki Room, Hall of Presidents. Is either when it's really, really crowded, we do that during Christmas week,
or the Laugh Factory,
if it's really, really hot out. That's when we want to.
Magic.
We'll do that during the day.
Yeah, all those little shows that, you can sit down, cool off, enjoy a little show for a few minutes just to beat the heat a little bit.
Well, but the other thing, right, was we go to the pool now, right?
Yeah.
If we're staying at the resorts, we just go ahead to the pool.
We go back to the pool.
Right. I like to take a nap.
Yeah.
I'm getting old, so.
Yeah. Take a nap. Go to the pool, take a nap, and then go back after usually the afternoon thunderstorm when it cools off a little bit. I mean, sometimes it cools it off, and sometimes it turns it into a sauna. You never know.
Yeah. Wow, these bees are really coming from everywhere now. I mean, I'm not sure you can hear them, but we can hear. They're bumblebees, hopefully.
Yeah.
But we can hear a lot of them buzz.
Yeah.
So it's so that's another tip to deal with the heat. So I think this last tip that we're going to share applies to anyone that has really small children.
Babies.
Yep. I'm a baby.
Yeah, you are sometimes. But I do guess. We didn't really use the baby center too much, if at all, but I thought it was a good thing to share because people might not know that they have rooms there that you can, private rooms to breastfeed in, or you can change there. They also provide
formula.
Well, they have some things you can buy, like formula, diapers, wipes, even clothes, over-the-counter medications. So of course everyone has their diaper bag and they bring it with them, but you never know. You could have a blowout, the diaper blowout, and you don't have enough, run out of stuff. So it's always good. You can go there and purchase that stuff. And they also have a kitchen there, and you can heat up food and microwave, and they have a table and like a little seating area, so you can feed your baby there, and it's air conditioned, and you can heat up their food. And that's also where, if there's a lost child, that is where cast members bring the kids to wait until they're reunited with their parents. So that's also good to know.
Have you ever been to the baby?
I don't think we
Do we have a puke story with the baby center?
No, I don't think so. Well, we do have a puke story when he was a baby. Wasn't
it he was about to meet Donald?
No, maybe. I don't know. No, it was at Hollywood Studios.
Or the little Einsteins.
It wasn't the Einsteins then. I don't know. I forget. But I just remember him being, I think 18. He got
An ear infection
or a stomach bug or something, and he just all over the floor, and I was like, oh man.
Oh, that was the ABC commissary.
Yes, that's it.
We used a tray to catch
the
it all.
Yeah,
the food tray.
The food tray to catch the
One of us picked up all the food off the tray right away.
And so we wouldn't get. And then there was a cast member that was like, oh, I understand. I'm a grandfather. I understand. Don't worry about it. I'll clean it up. You know what I mean? Cast members are great. I mean, they have to deal with a lot. You know.
Yeah.
So, but
for some reason,
helpful.
our kids love puking at Epcot. Both of them.
Oh yeah, Master, remember she used to puke. I'm like, go in the bush. I don't know. I never threw up there. You threw up there, but I never threw up there.
Remember they always asked why there was a barf bag in Mission Space? Remember Madison went on that?
Yeah.
Oh, what's this barf bag for? Well, now she knew why
Yeah.
the barf bag was there.
Yeah, but she got sick after that, I think.
She did, yeah.
But she didn't, not on the ride though.
Yeah. But all kidding aside, the baby center is a useful place for parents with with babies and really young children.
If you forgot something or need something or just need a place to feed your baby and have some privacy or heat up something, it's a good place to go. So I hope you enjoyed our tips and how to keep cool and how not to get hot and and cool off while you're in Florida.
And just other tips to be able to deal with the fast passes, dealing with the crowds. These were just tips we learned since we've been going since our kids are really little.
Yep, and they seem to always work for us. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but most of the time they do. And there's little things you learn each year, what works for you.
Yep. So I hope you enjoyed this video.
And so don't forget to subscribe and comment and
tell us what tips you like, or actually share new tips that you have with us.
Yeah, we'd like to hear your tips too as well. Thanks, and everyone cool off.